See, I mean, I get it. You know, you could say under the sector, a bank eventually first gets into probably marketing first before they get into engineering on loans that they give out. I feel pretty good about that. I'll give up some money for some time stock on you owing me some stuff on the farm. You couldn't put it together as a business owner, or you just needed somebody, Big Daddy, anyways, to play the game for you while you're getting there. I'll be happy to take that off of you. I'm Wells Fargo. That's what that does. But beyond that, it's just a bank, right? I mean, strip it all away to the Higgs. What is Wells Fargo? It's a bank. It does the same thing as any bank. I put it in a tree hole, it holds it. That's what it does. There's some security risk that I pay to put it in that tree. I pay a lot of things. I pay that that's the level of security. I have to go farther in that direction to get it. It's not the ones and zero model, so it costs me a fact in time, which space, pen row, space time stuff, they matter. So that matters. That would be the cost, and that's a 8% on tax of extortion, or 9.8 meters per second is another good way to look at that. And so when you say at that level, you've obviously gotten so big, you know, why did your corporation from the stockholders meeting need to do anything in pharma, put stocks in those things, or have a side of this? Now you're saying, well, Wells Fargo's not a bank. It's actually it's an ARK investment is really what this is. Somebody had to put money in there, and in the same way, it's going to look like an ETF or an IPO or an NTF, any other way you look at it. And pharma says these are wiggle noodles doing things. Instead of putting it back in your business of stock on the farm, people handing out banks and loans and making that out sensibly, they've decided to get off the farm, which had nothing to do with those things, and still call it the same name. I mean, you can thermodynamics at things a bit, but what you've done for expansion inside here, inflation, is your own fucking fault. So let's hear it. Instead of simplifying it, and I'm not saying Cathie Woods is right by creating a new investment. She needed to run the sorting algorithm on the one she had, otherwise she's going to end up like Twitter, not Square. I mean, out of the two, though, you're going to pick Cathie Wood every time. She may not be as big a mountain as Twitter, but come the rock and the weights and plates, who's going to hit? Twitter and what they're doing for the tech industry, or Cathie Woods? I mean, let's say they make you the same amount of money out of it, but Cathie Woods is pushing more buttons. Got some risk on it.
Yeah, so this space in
so does Twitter.
Has labored under the threat of
no moving parts whatsoever. Seems like it's a flow down the mountain because it's too big and way overbellied that it, just by being at that phase operator overbellied, it becomes something different. They could just security by holding money in that. Fair enough. Wells Fargo, risk analysis, bank on money, taking in loans. Sensible enough. Call Avis Incorporated whatever you want. There's the danger noodle.
With what's going on in Congress.
So, Kerry,
so as you guys do big pharma your own way, you look at if you're Wells Fargo president and your people were out there making decisions on pharma stocks today. I mean, there's no difference. Do they make the right decisions? Is the question we're asking.
It's green as we currently speak.
Yeah, so United Health is
green as we currently speak. And that's to say they bought green? How long back did they go? Because if it bought green, well, I mean, unless they pegged the needle on it, doesn't necessarily seem like they're doing so great high leveraged on that mountain. Now that might have been today. Well, there you go for today's numbers. It's on the climb. I could even argue, hey, a smart investor on a bull farm, given I don't know what I don't see about that line or any other line, could say, that's a fair bet. What do you mean? It's like, well, I don't try to peg it on the bottom. I let it trickle up a little bit, make sure it's got the start initial momentum turning over on the operator. I should expect to see red, green at about 51%, and then green at the same out as they come in, or compress the renormalization of what might be affected into the time aspect of XYZ. But essentially, back to Wells Fargo, any five that does this, shit, you can bet any one, as long as the weights and plates are good on it, they should be fine. One of the benefits is camo Wells Fargo. It's big. If you try to do that on something in the tomb, boy, somebody'd be all over that in a second, and you'd be making a lot of friends. at least friends that would love to take your money, because they built in at the bottom wherever it was. And the only way to do it is to put up more shares than they do, buy them out, push them out of the mountain, and gain control of it. And then maybe I could tell you what the autonomous nature of that stock is worth. Why the fuck Wells Fargo in there?